Hey guys, it's ARIBA and I'm back with another tutorial. So today I'm going to show you guys how to create a voluminous faux blowout using just a round brush and a flat iron. So the goal for this flat ironing technique is we're going to try and create a blowout finish without actually using a blow dryer. And we're gonna achieve that using a very simple hack that I'm going to show you guys. So as always, we're gonna be going in with our Dyson Corrale, and I'm gonna go ahead and just quickly unlock it, and we're gonna turn it on. So I'm gonna go in at full blast at 210 degrees Celsius, but you can also go in at 185 or 165 degrees Celsius, depending on how thick or fine your hair is. Obviously, the finer hair, stick to the lower settings. The thicker hair like mine, go ahead and amp it up. And we're gonna basically rotate between our round brush and our flat iron for this technique. So we're gonna go ahead and go right up to the top. You're gonna clamp it, slowly drag it down, and keep your round brush parallel to the flat iron, like so. Once you get to the end, you wanna kind of switch it up and go right above. And as you're exiting, you're gonna quickly roll it and wrap it while it's still hot, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of wrap that and let it cool for a couple of seconds. And once you feel like it's cooled, you're just gonna unravel your piece. And that is pretty much our goal for this look. So once all of our layers stack up with this flip, by the end, you should have a very voluminous blowout finish. Okay, so our first section is done, and you guys can see the ends are very soft and it's giving me very much of a blowout finish. So we're gonna just go ahead and push these back, and we're gonna take down our next section. And as always, make sure that you keep your unstyled hair forward and your styled hair back, and use your shoulders as the divider just to keep everything nice and clear. So you'll see kind of around the face framing layers as we move up more defined flips, because I do have shorter pieces there. For those of you guys that have mid to short length hair, you're definitely gonna see these flips be a lot more predominant. You could go in with a larger brush. I personally find that with the smaller brushes, you do get more of a defined curl and flip at the end, as opposed to the larger brushes. Those kind of tend to give it more of like a straight finish on the ends. So that's why I personally like sticking to the tiny ones. And what I love about this flat iron is that I am able to take larger pieces because the plates are flexible. So they kind of hug the section. So it kind of is able to control larger sections from my experience. Okay, so this whole side is done, and you can see we have a really soft blowout kind of starting to develop. So now we're gonna go ahead and do this side. Go in with our round brush and our flat iron, and we're gonna go down the hair shaft very slowly. And you'll see once we get to the end, you see how it kind of already gets that soft finish. And you're probably wondering, why can't I just do that with my flat iron alone? Why do I have to wrap my round brush around it? It's because your hair sets when it heats and cools in the same exact position. So that little flip on the end is gonna last a lot longer when you wrap it around your brush and give it a few seconds to cool down. And it just takes a couple of seconds. So we're just gonna go ahead and let it go. And you can see we have a really nice, soft blowout finish. I'm basically curling everything towards my face, because I find the longer pieces that I have, they just look a little bit more flattering and defined, curled inwards. And then as I get to the top, I will start flipping away. So by the time the blowout is done, it'll be like flipped out and then flipped in, and it creates a really pretty shape. The main idea in a blowout is to give you that really big kind of defined volume on the top, and we're not going to sacrifice that today. We're going to keep that in mind. We're going to actually take our sections down on the back in the crown so that we can really focus on creating that bump in the crown, which is kind of like the ideal signature of a blowout. So keep everything over your shoulders for this section so that your crown can live on its own in the back. So go ahead and bring that section off to the side a little bit just so that it's easier for you to work on. Curve it inwards, and as you're doing this, you're gonna rotate those ends around your round brush all the way up like so. And if your hair doesn't hold curl that well at this point, you can give it a spritz of a light hold flexible hairspray. You don't want to go in with a strong hold because it's not going to give you that fluffy, beautiful finish that you get in a blowout. So a light hold hairspray would be best at this point if your hair doesn't hold style that well. But for the most part, just allowing it to cool around this round brush is going to give you such a nice finish that you don't really need much of the products. So we're gonna just go ahead and quickly push everything back because now we're gonna work towards the front in the last couple of sections here. So at this point, you're gonna go ahead and part your hair however you are going to part it and wear it throughout the week. If you are a hair flipper and you don't really have a part, you're gonna continue doing what we just did in our last section in our crown and continue working forward and do everything back away from your face. So I'm gonna part my hair down the center. And I am still using the same battery on my Corrale. This gives you about 30 minutes of styling time, cord free. If it takes you longer than that to style your hair, you can always go ahead and plug it in and use it just like a traditional curling iron plugged in the cord. So we're gonna go ahead and start back here. And because we did all of our previous sections forward kind of inwards, all of this money shots, we're gonna be doing them back away from our face, and that's just gonna give us a little bit more variety in terms of the flow and give us more of a blowout finish. And we're gonna go ahead and go right in at the root, like so, and we're gonna kind of curve this back away from our face like so. So once you get to the ends there, go ahead and start rotating your round brush and roll it all the way up and let that section kind of cool. Release it to reveal a really soft and beautiful finish, very much like a blowout. So you see, as I'm going in at the root, I'm like curving it like so that it's constantly being rounded, and we're gonna just rotate it. And once you get to the ends, you're gonna just hold your section in place and let it cool for a couple of seconds. And once it cools, you're just gonna release your beautifully blow dried section. Now all of our hair is pretty much blow dried, and we just have our bangs left to do. For our bangs, you're gonna take your round brush and you're gonna go right in at the roots, and then you're gonna grab your flat iron and go right up, and you're just gonna curve the flat iron towards your face and rotate those ends and make sure everything is wrapped up nicely. Use your flat iron to tuck in those ends. And then you just wanna rotate it and let it cool for a couple of seconds. And once that cools, you're gonna go ahead and release. And now you can just flip it off to the side. And you can see it gives you such a nice bit of volume right at the top and just this beautiful soft flip on the ends, which is exactly kind of the vibe that we're going for. It doesn't even look like a flat iron. It looks like I blow dried my hair, but this is all the works of a flat iron. So a lot of you guys have been asking me some follow-up questions to my original Dyson Corrale video. So I'm gonna answer them here. A lot of you wanted to know how the quality of my hair is feeling and how the health is feeling. So just a little bit of background. I heat style my hair probably 2 to 4 times in a month. I do it about every 7 to 10 days, and my hair obviously noticeably has been feeling better. I also have stopped coloring my hair. I've stopped using traditional flat irons. I barely, I think I used one traditional curling iron in the last like 2 or 3 months. If anything, I've just gotten the hang of it, and I love it even more so now. And I will leave the direct link for this down below in the description if you guys want to check it out for yourselves. And as always, if you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave me some love in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on the next one.